Hey Racer fans, it's time for the Racer Report this week. A split for the Racers with a win and a loss. And the great Isaiah Cannon does what he does at the Dunn Center in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's all coming up next on the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. Hi folks, and welcome to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. Dave Winder here in the Murray State locker room inside the CFSB Center. Before we get to the coach, here's what's coming up this week for the Racers. At home Thursday night against Eastern Illinois. Big game for the Racers to come back for 2 in a row at home. It's a 7 o'clock start, and it'll be on the OVC Digital Network. And then Saturday's game is a men's-women's doubleheader when SIU Edwardsville comes in. That's a 7:30 game for the Racers. You can also see that one on the OVC Digital Network, and you could also hear the game on Froggy 103 FM or Froggy103.com and GoRacers.com, and then over the air, of course, as well. It was a split week for the Racers. A loss to Eastern Kentucky, then a big win Saturday against Austin Peay. Coach, you talked about afterwards in Clarksville Saturday night, never undervalue winning.
No, that's the one thing, and I've got to do a better job. Every team's different, and this team's different, and I may have taken the wrong approach that, oh, we're not up 10, we're not up 20, we're not dominating somebody. We've got Ed and Isaiah back with tremendous amount of experience, but everybody else on our team, with the loss of Zay and the injury to Latrez, are in a new role this year for us, or a freshman. So we just want to continue to get better, and whether it's beating Austin Peay by 3 or winning by 6, we need to appreciate winning. And in conference play, it's about the next game. You got to win or lose, you got to put that game behind you and win the next game in front of you.
We're going to go ahead and roll the highlights from the Dunn Center in Clarksville, Tennessee, with the Racers going for a 4th straight win in this building. And Coach, I know I'm going to have to go back and look, and that's got to be a record. I mean, the greatest teams ever at Murray State have lost at this arena, and here the Racers knocked off the Govs 4 straight times on their home floor.
Yeah, amazing. Ed Daniel and Isaiah Cannon, the only senior class since 1965, 68. I think Neil Bradley was telling me to win 4 straight games over there. So credit Isaiah and Ed, and along with a lot of really very, very good teammates and coaches, Coach Kennedy, of course, that helped aid in that.
Well, Isaiah Cannon, which we'll talk about in the second segment, had the big game over there last year, started off in this game, hit his first couple, and seemed like your team, you came out and you got a couple of easy baskets from your defense right off the bat. That had to make you feel good.
Yeah, I thought defensively for the most part we played better. A couple of breakdowns, post defense, just hedging ball screens and losing our man a couple times, gave up a couple open threes. But when we're getting rebounds and we're getting good stops and we're able to push the ball and run just like that, that's pretty much on cue. That's how we want to play. I think we're a lot better team like that.
Well, that was a beautiful defensive stand there. Then they got the ball out quick and got the dunk for the alley-oop there to Daniel. And now we're around the 5-minute mark of the first half. Another good play there by Ed Daniel. The Racers up by 4 here. The Racers were down by 5 in the first half. Your largest lead was 4. This was a back-and-forth game all night.
It was. A lot of lead changes. It was good to see Eric McCree go in there and do some good things. Hopefully that'll get him going. I thought the last 2 games, even though we lost against Eastern on Wednesday, I thought he did a good job with some good energy. But it was back and forth the whole way, a great rivalry game, but, fortunately we were able to close the game.
Cannon hit a layup right there. The Racers were up by 1 with 3:53 to go before the half, and then Cannon hit another 3, and you were able to closed the half on a 7-1 run, but you know what? It could have been a lot more because the last 2 possessions, you guys came up empty.
Yeah, we did, and I thought we missed good shots. We had open threes that, Isaiah gets so much attention that Dexter, Stacy, Jeff get wide open looks, and when we're making those shots, we're really tough to beat, and we can extend the lead.
And you see Tyler Rambo there. He was another one you went to there in the first half. Obviously, that was your strategy, was to get some guys off the bench into the game, and that really seemed to help your energy for the rest of the game.
It did. One thing I've just really need to sell out to is to continue to develop our bench. You know, Jeffrey Moss, Tyler Rambo on the perimeter, to get in there, and because I think Stacy and Dexter and even Isaiah, their minutes are very, very high, and we need to get those down a little bit. And then off the bench, you know, in the post, Eric McCree, and it was good to see Latrez get in there. We went on an 8-0 run actually when he was in there. He missed a layup, but you know, just watching it, Ed. That's just Ed. I mean, he blocks shots, he rebounds, and then he takes charges better than anybody.
And here's a part of the game, Coach. This was with about 15 minutes to go. Racers are down by a pair. You went to your press, and I don't remember you calling that this season yet.
Yeah, we played it some against East Kentucky. You know, we played a possession or two in games. Not much for probably people really to, you know, to look at and see that's what we do. But, you know, I'm trying to figure out the best way to max this team out. Offensively, we're starting to make some changes. We showed some things against Austin Peay, and then defensively. And, you know, we need to slow some people down so in order not to be in a half-court defense as long.
Well, you saw Stacy Wilson hit the layup, and then Cannon hit his third three of the game, 10:39 to go. The Racers were up by 2, and then they got it to Cannon again for a three-pointer at the 9:30 mark to keep a 2-point lead. Ed Daniel came up with his 9th double-double this season, and you know, I love the look on Ed's face sometime when he's playing. He's so locked into what he's doing. It's wonderful to watch.
You know, with Ed and Isaiah, I usually just try to ask them, hey, do you need a break? And, you know, Ed finally asked for a break about the 6-7 minute mark, and, you know, basically, and then he jumped up and said, Coach, I'm ready, I'm going in. And, you know, and obviously we want him back in there. So, but he's resilient, he's tough. You know, I was able to only rest Isaiah. He played the whole second half into the 3-minute mark, and actually we played well without him. We had about a minute stretch out there with him out of the game, got some rest, and was able to close the game.
Well, and you got to credit Travis Beatran of Austin Peay. He had 2 incredible threes towards the end there. The Racers made enough free throws to pull this one out. But I tell you what, when he knocked those 2 in there, I got a little worried. I imagine you probably got concerned too.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, we just got to be smarter and to finish games. You know, Stacy fouls the 3-point shooter, and if it's a 4-point play. This is a good job of our guys keep away. We still want to keep the ball moving right there if we can. You know, Jeff fortunately makes one, and then on the miss, Ed does a tremendous job of corralling the ball handler. We get a deflection, and the ball game's over. But, you know, we gave up 2 threes to Beatran in the transition. Stacy turned it over underneath out of bounds, full court, and we just can't do that to finish games.
Well, and actually, Moss in his young Murray State career was 14 out of 14 for the free throw line. Finally had a miss. We knew he would miss sometime, but there's the last play you talked about, Coach. The Racers played that very well and did not allow Austin Peay to get a shot off, and the Racers win it by the score of 71-68. Big win for Murray State as they move to 12-4 and 3-1 in the OVC. And you take a look at the box score there. Another big night we mentioned for Ed Daniel, 21-13. Cannon had 26. But then you also see some bench production there too, and the Racers won the rebound battle by the account of 40-31. So big win for the Racers, and that brings us to our first break here on the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the career of Isaiah Cannon at Austin Peay's gym. We'll do that next.
Explora un nuevo mundo.
여러 가지 경험들을 많이 체험하세요.
आइए और अपना जहां खुद बनाइए.
Ichalo chenu ukusanga.
عالم جدير بالاكتشافات.
Entdecke deine Welt.
Swój świat do odkrycia.
Dünyanızı keşfedin.
創造你的未來。
Feres vervelünk vilagot.
Tất cả những điều tốt đẹp nhất đang chờ đón bạn.
Dunia Anda untuk dijelajahi.
探索你的世界。
Murray State University, your world to explore.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Racing Report here in the Murray State locker room inside the CFSB Center with head coach Steve Prohm. Coach will join us in just a moment. But first, a moment about the career for Isaiah Cannon at Austin Peay in Clarksville, Tennessee at the Dunn Center on Saturday. It was like business as usual as Cannon ended up with 26 points on 8 of 16 shooting. He had 4 threes in the game, and he talked about afterwards the great career that he's had in his 4 career games at the Dunn Center and how well he's done. And on the other side of the bite, we'll take a look at some of those numbers.
Just really, it's a big rivalry, and you got to try to teach the younger guys what it's about. And I mean, regardless of what their record is, we knew they was going to come out ready to play, and we had to respond. And I don't know what these past 2 years I've been able to come out and be making shots. So, I mean, I enjoyed it, and I know I got to give my team a spark, whether it's on the defense end or on the offense end. And when I'm open, I try to make the shots, and credit they gym. It allowed me to make them sometimes, especially in here. And just got to keep pushing forward and getting better. When I made the first 2, I was like, is it round 2? Then I missed. I was like, well, all right, well, it's a normal game. So kind of got back locked in, and like I say, just tried to take what the defense gave me. And I don't know why they kept bagging off. So I kind of made them pay the first 2 shots, and then they kind of pushed up on me a little bit. So I just try to read the defense, and whatever they give me, if it's an open shot, I take it. If it's getting to the goal or finding an open man, I try to make it happen.
Well, it has been amazing. You take a look at the 4 games for Isaiah Cannon, starting with his freshman year in 2009-10, where he came off the bench and scored 11 points in about 18 minutes. But then this total here, you see, it's well over 22 points a game in his 4 games there. That includes the big game last year, 35 points, where Isaiah was 7 out of 7 from three-point range in the first half. Coach, you ever remember in your career a guy having that kind of a career on a visiting team's floor in conference play?
No. I mean, it was a tremendous performance, and I watched that game yesterday morning before we played, just kind of reviewing what they did to us last year and what we did last year that was successful. And I mean, Isaiah's a terrific player, great competitor, and just proud of all his accomplishments.
You know, I remember here at the CFSB Center, Ricky Menard of Morehead State, he used to just kill the Racers in this building. So it does happen. Players go on the road and have a good feeling in whatever gym it may be. But a great career by Isaiah Cannon at Austin Peay, no doubt. So another break here coming up. When we come back, we'll take a look at the early game of the week, and that was against Eastern Kentucky. We'll do that next on the Racer Report.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here. I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm here inside the Murray State locker room in the CFSB Center. Let's go back to the Wednesday night game against Eastern Kentucky. Big game with both teams coming in, playing very, very well. And this ended up being a 77-65 loss to the Racers. Just the sixth time in 15 years the Racers have lost back-to-back home games. But, Coach, there was something kind of weird, a weird feeling about this game. The Racers just never got on track here. And as we get into the first half, you had a lot of studying and thinking about this afterwards in Wednesday night. Well, what did you find out about the game?
Yeah, I put a lot of the blame on myself, just not having the guys ready. We came out slow. We got down 7-0. We got right back in the game, up 11-7, and then, we really struggled to score. Credit EKU defensively. They did a good job, and we really struggled to score, and then they went on a huge run, which I probably should have limited, called a timeout, and kind of got our guys back and regroup, but couldn't make shots where you see right there with Dexter. But we just got to, it was just one of those, it was a rough night, and learned a lot about our team that night, just in the way, we need to try to create better offense for us. So.
Well, Coach, that's one thing that you hope, in your college coaching career as an assistant. You've had games where, man, you just came out and it wasn't there, and you went to find it and you couldn't find it, and then you compound that with the visiting team shooting lights out, making a lot of shots. It makes for a tough night.
When we share the ball, you just saw right there, Jeff hit Stacy, Stacy hit Isaiah, Isaiah got an open three. When we're pushing the ball in transition, when we're sharing the basketball, we're good offensively. When we're holding it and we're not getting the ball reversed or attacking the paint, we can struggle. We didn't get the ball inside a lot, shot a ton of threes, and didn't shoot a great percentage from three. And defensively, just weren't locked in like we needed to be. And, it starts with me, and, watch the tape. And then the next couple of days was just about getting our team better, and you got to put it behind you. And we'll be ready if we see him again.
Well, now after you've seen the result at Austin Peay on Saturday, which we've already seen those highlights, the Racers did a great job of putting it behind them and getting ready for the next opponent. But we're here in the second half, and Coach, I think the biggest lead for Eastern Kentucky was with 7:40 to go. It was a 22-point lead, and the fact that the Racers came back to cut it to 5 and had a chance to get even closer, I thought was a real testament to your kids. That things weren't going their way, but they never quit and really almost got back in this game and had a chance to win it.
Yeah, when you say I didn't even know it was 22 with 7.5 minutes, with 3.5 to go, we're down 5.
Right.
So it's just our energy level just where it wasn't where it needed to be that night. Our execution wasn't where it needed to beat a good team. And Eastern Kentucky's good. They're a very good team. They're going to have a good year. They're going to compete to be in the top 1, 2, or 3 in the league, I believe, and but I think it taught us a lot about our team and how we need to approach things.
Well, it's a different animal with the way the OVC is set up now with the divisions. This is the only time these two teams will meet. So the Racers will not play at Richmond later in the season. Conversely, Morehead State, the Racers will not play them here at home, but they'll have to go there. But Coach, you got down here to the last part here, and you had it, like you said, we could cut it down to 5 with 3:30 to go. It was a 16-0 run for the Racers in about 4 minutes of play. But then late in the game here, had a couple possessions where it just didn't work out. Moss hit the 3, and that cut it to 5 right there.
Yeah, that got it to 5. And, we needed to try to pick up the tempo, and I probably should have tried to do that earlier. And, when you go on a 17-0 run like we did, and it kind of makes you even sicker about your performance because, our energy level just wasn't there. And, one of the things I kicked myself, we probably, 4 guards is a great matchup against Eastern Kentucky and played our traditional lineup a lot, but when we went small late, that's when we kind of picked things up. But, in coaching, you live and you learn and you get better with the next game, and we learn from this and hopefully we'll get better from it.
Well, you see some of the numbers there. Cannon led the Racers with 24. He was 8 out of 17, 4 out of 12, 4 out of 8 on the night. It was a game where Ed Daniel had 4 points and 6 rebounds. He just never got into the flow of things either.
No, and that's on me. I needed to get him the ball inside. The rebounds is a little tougher against Eastern Kentucky because they have him out there on the top of the key and spread out a lot. So, but he responded the next game, and that's what it's about.
Okay, well, the Racers did rebound from that loss early in the week and got the big win at Austin Peay. We'll come back here in a moment and take a look at the standings in the OVC. We'll do that next.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here. I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach. People said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory.
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Back here on the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. Time to take a look at what's happening in the Ohio Valley Conference as we take a look at what happened this week and where everybody stands in the Racers side of the OVC. They're atop the standings at 3-1. Southeast Missouri State's 2-3. And then your opponents for this week, Eastern Illinois and SIUE coming in both 1-3 and 0-5. And then at the top of the East, Tennessee State, Belmont, and Eastern Kentucky, both without a loss. And Coach, we continue to talk about how the conference is taking shape. Tennessee State's playing very well. Belmont's playing very well.
Yeah, they are. That top side, Tennessee State, Belmont, Eastern Kentucky, combined 13-0. Jacksonville State ineligible for postseason play, but playing extremely well. And then I know it's tough to win at Moorhead. So, a very, very tough side of the division right there on the east side. And then, fortunately, we're out to a good start. 3 out of 4 to start on the road, and we're 3-1. And then, SEMO, though, 2-3, but still very talented team.
The way the schedule goes this week, while the Racers are playing Eastern Illinois on Thursday night, Edwardsville will be at Austin Peay. EKU goes to Belmont this week on Thursday night. Jacksonville State at Tennessee State, some of the key games, and then Tennessee State goes to Belmont on Saturday. So it's getting very, very interesting in the OVC, and the Racers are right in the thick of it, looking for their 4th outright regular season title as this season goes along here. So one more break with head coach Steve Prohm. We'll come back, take a look at the schedule ahead next.
Explora un nuevo mundo.
여러 가지 경험들을 많이 체험하세요.
आइए और अपना जहां खुद बनाइए.
Icalochen ukusanga.
عالم جدير بالاكتشافات.
Entdecke deine Welt.
Twój świat do odkrycia.
Dünyanızı keşfedin.
創造你的未來。
Feres Verwelung Vilagot.
Tất cả những điều tốt đẹp nhất đang chờ đón bạn.
Dunia Anda untuk dijelajahi.
探索你的世界。
Murray State University, your world to explore.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here. I only have one drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach. You know, people said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory.
The little guy's right. Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
We're back here to wrap it up on this week's Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. And let's take a look at the Murray State schedule. 2 big home games this week. The students are back, and we need 2 big crowds out Thursday and Saturday as the Racers host Eastern Illinois at 7 on Thursday night, and then Eastern Illinois Thursday night at 7. Edwardsville comes in Saturday at 7:30, and then next week the Racers on the road at Tennessee Tech and Jacksonville State. The Tech game is on ESPNU, and the Jacksonville State game will be on Racer TV. But just a moment here left with head coach Steve Prohm. It was a big Saturday. Right before the Austin Peay game, we saw Billy Kennedy's Texas A&M team win at Kentucky. A big win. Isaac Chu, who's an assistant at Marquette, they got a win at Pittsburgh. And Amir Abdur-Rahim, who's an assistant at Charleston, they got a win over Chattanooga. So, Coach, we were talking after the Racers' big win. It was a 4-0 day for the former staff here together at Murray State.
Yeah, it was good, and probably the biggest one of the day, and people may yell at me for saying this, I was really excited for Coach Kennedy to go into Rupp and win his, to start out 2-0 in the SEC and give Coach Calipari in Kentucky their first SEC loss at home since they've been there. So huge win for him, and very proud of him.
Yeah, it was a big day. We're very, very proud of this ball club that Steve Prohm's put together. What a bounce back. That was a great bounce back Saturday.
I told our guys, where else do you want to go get tested than at a tough environment at your rivals in Austin Peay? And our guys passed the test, and now we got to get better this week.
Okay, so big games at home Thursday and Saturday. Coach, good luck.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, head coach Steve Prohm. We'll see you next time on the Racer Report. And as we leave you today, here's the voice of the Racers, Neil Bradley.
It rifles it inside to Campbell, who shot it over everything. Racers rebound. It goes to Daniel on the alley-oop from Cannon, and he stuffed it in. Left side, Triggs. Knocked away, picked up by McCree. He'll race to the hoop with Triggs, and he stuffs it home. McCree with the stuff, and it's 24-21. He finds Cannon, who brings it across. Cannon to the front court, goes through 2 defenders. Oh, nice screen by Henderson, and he laid it off the glass and in. And he forced him into a miss. Rebound Moss. Moss finds Cannon. Racers can take the lead. 3 at the top to do it by Cannon, and it's good. Isaiah Cannon's third 3 of the night. He has 11, and the Racers go up 29-27. Left sideline, Fields. Fields lobs it inside. Daniel lets his man go by, put it up and in, and through the contact, Daniel will have a chance at a 3-point play. Left side, that leaves Campbell open for the 3. Side of the rim doesn't go. Followed his own shot, got his rebound, had it poked away by Fields. He finds Moss. Back to Fields. Lob for the slam, my goodness! And Daniel rocks the house with a dunk. 59-55.
Great feed by Dexter Fields, though, to put it up there.